Hello, U10 coaches, and welcome to the fall 2019 AYSO soccer season. We are so excited to have you as coaches for our players. You are an integral part of our player development and for helping people in our community gain a love for the game of soccer. My name is Stefan O'Shaughnessy. I want to introduce myself. I am the new volunteer regional coordinator for this area. This is my first year doing this position. I'm super excited to be working with you. I've been coaching for the last 9 years doing AYSO. I started doing U6 and I've worked my way all the way up. I've even done high school. And so I'm super excited to work with fellow coaches. So basically, instead of having a big meeting and trying to get everyone's schedules to fit together to do a coaches meeting, I've decided I'll just make a weekly video. These will be short videos where I will talk about some updates, give you announcements. I'll do some Q&A, and I'll also give you some tips, maybe some drills and different things that you could apply that week in soccer. I'll try to keep these videos less than 5 minutes. I know this first one's going to go a little long just because there's so much to talk about since it's the start of the season. So let's get started.
So let's get started with the announcements for this week. First of all, we want to make sure that our coaches know that they are not alone. We are here to answer your questions and to assist you in any way we can. We have a phone/text number that you can use. Our number is 208-557-3602. We prefer text because that text message will get sent to all the board members, which will allow us to answer more quickly. But you can also call as well. So anytime you need help, please, 208-557-3602. We also want to let you know that ball bags are now ready. And so you can pick those up at the McKinney's house, or we'll also send out an email for when you can pick them up at the fields, either on Thursday or Friday. We're going to have a setting up the field meeting, and you can just come to the field if it's closer for you in that. If you do want to pick them up early, feel free to give us a text, and we'll get you that information. Uniforms won't arrive till Friday, so be looking for an email on how to pick those up. We were hoping they'd be a little earlier, but sadly UPS isn't going to get them here till Friday, so just be aware of that. Okay, perfect. The Q&A that we are getting a lot of coaches asking is, hey, how do I find my roster and players' phone numbers? So I want to talk about that right now. Let's take a look. To find our website, I always just Google AYSO 1602. That's the region we're in. When you click on that, you'll need to log in to your Blue Sombrero account. I'm already logged in, and so I'm just going to click on Team Central, and that'll take me to the team's main page. And I'm going to click here, Team Directory. Once I get to my team directory, I'm going to go to my team, which is Team 5 O'Shaughnessy. And then you'll be able to here click on your roster. This is how you're going to find out who's on your team. You can click the roster. I'm sure everybody's already seen this. And then you can click on email if you want to send out an email to everybody on your team. This is good as well to do. The one thing that I always had a hard time finding was phone numbers, because I really like to create a group text to send out reminders to my team. And also I like group text because we can send out organized snacks, the treats after the game and stuff like that. To find all the phone numbers, you're going to definitely want to click on the roster again. And this time you're going to want to click the print roster button right here. When you push the print roster button, it doesn't actually print at your printer. I always thought it did. But basically it gives you this option to select all. You can get all your players' information and then click generate the roster. And the roster then will appear down below. Now, because it's got sensitive information, I'm not going to show you this, but basically it'll have all the phone numbers and names, and so you can create a text list if you'd like to do that. That's just a cool little hint for you. You can send emails, that's fine. I just know that sometimes emails get lost or unread. Texts are a little more successful in that category. And now it's time for the tips for coaches. I have 5 tips this week of things that you should do or could do. These are not mandatory. These are just things that I was thinking about, and I was like, ooh, this might help a new coach. And so basically, tip number 1 is you're going to want to work with the kids in teaching them the name of the positions that we're going to play. You'll be playing 7v7, so that's 6 people on a field and a goalkeeper. And so you're going to definitely want to make sure that you teach the kids the positions. You might set it up this way, you might set it up a different way, that's fine. But make sure they understand what a defender does and what a midfielder does and what a forward or a striker does. If you teach them that terminology, that's really going to help them understand where to go during the game. I remember playing soccer, and sometimes I was a little lost. If you can teach them, left defender stays on the left side, is going to help with defense. He's going to move all the way up to the half line. Teach them the positions. That's going to help them a ton. I would say that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, create a team name and a cheer. I would take a few minutes during my first practice, come up with a team name and a short cheer. I think that unifies your team, gets them excited for the game, and I think it's an important part of playing soccer. Tip for coaches number 3, what I would do this week, I would definitely do a drill discussing throw-ins. Oh yeah, throw-ins, one of the toughest things for some reason for players to grasp, and we really want to make sure that they understand this concept. They got to bring that ball behind their head. They're going to have both feet behind the line. They're then going to throw that ball forward. They can take one step forward. They can even drag that back foot if they want. If you have players struggling with this, I tell them pretend their feet are glued to the ground. That helps them a little better. Make sure they don't step over the line. That's not a good throw. They can't have one foot on the line, one foot touching and one behind. That's actually legal. That might be a hard concept. I sometimes just teach my kids both feet behind the line and throw it. Drag that both back foot. This is the worst thing to see right here, the foot in the air. I call this the teapot. Anytime I see one of my players do this, I yell out, teapot, and I make them sing the song. I'm a little teapot, short and we don't want that foot being lifted up. I would work on throw-ins this week with your players. Let's keep going. Tip number 4, goalies. This is the first age group, U10, to have goalies. And so you're going to have a lot of kids excited about it. A couple kids maybe timid. I would definitely make sure during the season everybody gets one chance being goalie. Soccer is a team sport, so it's really important to know what every position does. It makes you a better player knowing what they have to do. And so you're going to want to teach a little bit about goalie skills that some of them might not know. They're allowed to pick up the ball anywhere inside that box. And they can then throw it or do a drop kick. They love doing drop kicks. I have a U8 team. We don't even have goalies, but my kids always want to spend 10 minutes doing drop kicks. So now that they're U10, let them do a couple drop kicks. Let them boot that ball. Give them these 3 tips. As you move forward, they're going to release the ball. Don't throw it up. Some of your kids are going to want to throw the ball up and then try to kick it. It's more of a drop the ball and then kick it forward. Kick the ball just before it bounces and then follow through to get the greatest distance. If you are new to our area's AYSO, we do not play the build-up line. We do allow our goalies to pick up the ball and kick it and throw it, and play full goalies. So have fun with that. That's a fun thing to do. Last thing, tip for coaches, number 5. Coaches, you probably all know this, but headers are not allowed. So I would not do not let your kids practice headers. It shouldn't be practiced. It should not be done in a game. It might happen by accident. That's all right. But on purpose, that's not something that we're going to be doing until U12. I would focus on some of the other things I mentioned. And if you are wanting to work with aerial balls and trapping, you can work on having them trap with their chest, with their legs, thighs, things like that, but not with their heads. Well, that's it. That's all I have for this week's video. Again, I'll be sending a weekly video out each week with a couple things, with announcements, answer a couple questions, and always throw in a couple tips. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you on Saturday.